ॐ सहनौ भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमो नित्यं भद्रकाल्यै नमो नमः। वेद वेदांत वेदांग विद्यास्थानेभ्यै च सरस्वती महाभागे विद्ये कमललोचने विद्यारूपे विशालाक्षी विद्यां देहि नमोऽस्तुते। यदक्षरं पदं भ्रष्टं मात्राहीनं च यद्भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देवी प्रसीद परमेश्वरी। अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रीविद्योपासनासक्तं श्रीविद्यापीठभूषणं श्रीविद्याभिनवं वन्दे श्रीकृष्णानन्दसद्गुरुम्। हरि ओम हरि ओम। All of you, welcome to this session. We begin with the Tattvabodha. This text is a prakarana grantha and written by Bhagwan Adi Shankaracharya. Now, before going into the text, a little bit introduction is required. About the author and about the book itself. Bhagwan Adi Shankara is an unrefuted, unchallenged authority on Advaita Vedanta. Not that Advaita Vedanta shlokas or mantras were not, books were not available before him. It was always there, but then it was Bhagavan Shankara I would like to say, demystified the mantras. It is written in Sanskrit, no doubt, but that was the language of the day. He simplified and made it easy for our comprehension. When we talk of Advaita Vedanta, scriptures or the study of Advaita Vedanta, it involves the study of 8 or 10 major Upanishads. Now, when we say major Upanishads, these are the Upanishads on which Bhagwan Shankara has written a commentary on. So these 10 Upanishads plus the study in detail of the Bhagavad Gita and the Brahma Sutras put together is the study of Advaita Vedanta. Now when we look at Tattvabodha, it is a Prakarana Grantha, which means it is written for easy understanding of these texts. Now Bhagwan Shankara, we call him an avatara. Why we call him an avatara? Because merely a lifetime of just 32 years, he had accomplished such a lot. It takes a lifetime, to study the language of the scriptures, and even if we need to master 1 or 2 Upanishads and the Bhagavad Gita, will take a lifetime. But what did Shankara do? Not only he wrote commentaries, he is also known as Bhashyakar. That means he's written Bhashyam. Bhashyam is a commentary on these Upanishads. And Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Chandogya Upanishad, these are a voluminous work. When you say Bhashyam, when you say commentary, you have to give precise meaning to the scriptures, and it has to make sense. You have to say, why are you correct in that? It's not easy to write a commentary. Not everybody can write a bhashyam. You may write a commentary for easy understanding, but Bhagwan Shankara's bhashyams are such, if you refer from there or you quote from there and say, I'll take this position in debate because Shankara has mentioned it here, that is enough. People will keep quiet. He is an authority on it. Now, writing bhashyam, taking a verse, word by word, giving meaning to it, and why it should be understood this way, not only of the 10 or 12 Upanishads that he's written, he has written commentaries on the Brahma Sutras and the Bhagavad Gita. Now, Brahma Sutras are very advanced works. You have to have spent 12 years studying the other Vedanta texts to be able to understand. It is like, when we say, we all, at least I basically, Einstein, what is he famous for? E is equal to mc square. Now, I have no clue what is that E, what is that M, what is the C and C square, how they become one. I don't know. This only an advanced physics student will know, isn't it? You can't just study basic physics and try to come and understand the concept of E is equal to mc square. Like this Brahma Sutras are short formulas. There are 555 sutras like this. So while explaining the sutras itself, what they do for sake of ease and convenience, they say this word is used, refer to Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, this verse, refer to Chandogya Upanishad, this verse, refer to Bhagavad Gita, this verse, and then they proceed. So which means what? To even understand that, you should have learned all of this before. Otherwise, you will not be able to. Now, why am I telling you all this? Shankara has written a bhashyam on that, all in the short span of 32 years, born in Kanadi, traveled all over Bharatavarsha, established 4 mathas in the 4 corners of Bharata. The computer and all was not there, no? That you can just key in your words, store it in memory, you run with your pen drive everywhere. It was not possible. Everything was a manuscript. Imagine traveling, establishing matas and writing these commentaries. And when would he have started? First 8 years of his life, he hadn't started. So how much time? Within what a short period of time he has achieved this greatness. So Shankara is a phenomenon. He is not just one simple, ordinary human being. That is why he is known as Bhagavan Adi Shankara. And you say Shankara, everyone knows it is that phenomenon that happened for the benefit of mankind. Huh? Now you need to know this. Why? Because you're reading, we are going to now take up for discussion a book which he has written for the easy understanding of Advaita Vedanta philosophy, what he wants to expound. Very scientific. Why I will say scientific is he gives us the meaning of all the terminologies that are used. Like if I say Ishvara, I say God, and you say God, and we are having a discussion, suppose we are having a discussion. You say, I believe in God, I say, I don't believe in God. But first of all, we must establish, is your idea of God the same as mine? Then we can go ahead and have a discussion. But if I say, God is Nirakara, God is, no Akara, no name, no Nirguna, and you are saying, no, Jesus is God, then we are talking of 2 different concepts completely, isn't it? So that is not the way we can understand something. We need to understand. So the definition is given about Advaita Vedanta. So very clearly he will go on explaining and understand when he uses the word Stula Sharira, Sukshma Sharira. Now, wherever you find the word Stula Sharira, in all the Upanishads or the Bhashyam, understand it has this one meaning only. So you are not confused at all. Yeah? So very beautifully he is given. This is as though a conversation happening between guru and disciple. Because the disciple is sitting there wanting to know these concepts and get his ideology very clearly. So it is in that format. Now, because it is written by Shankara, who is, like I said, a phenomenon, how should we receive this? It's very important. You know, when Bhagavad Gita was being told, who told it to whom? Bhagavan Krishna to Arjuna. But also at the same time, somebody else was also relaying it. Sanjay. He had this Divya Drishti, like we have live telecast, commentary going on. No, so now it is not difficult to believe. Otherwise, we will, how did he get Divya Drishti? Huh? Now we have cameramen at that place and somebody giving commentary. We get this at our, everything is happening online. I'm sitting somewhere and talking. We are all getting this commentary where we are. So it's possible. So Sanjay was relaying the same to whom? Dhritarashtra, simultaneously. Now, what was the difference here? Both beautifully being told and relayed. Arjuna got the message What happened to Dhritarashtra? He didn't get it.
Nothing.
Arjuna was ready to receive an open mind, complete with faith. He had surrendered to Bhagavan. He said, you let me know because I don't know. And whom else can I trust but you? So his attitude, his approach was different. Whereas there, Dhritarashtra had not surrendered. He didn't even want to know. He just wanted to know what was happening to his sons. And what was happening there? He is very concerned and attached to them and very, very anxious for what is happening. So Bhagavad Gita given to him didn't bring about any change. So how should we be? Who has given us the Tattvabodha? Shankara. With complete faith, we must take whatever is being said. Oh, so Acharya, you want us to keep blind faith? Next question is that, no? Keep faith pending inquiry. Okay? Meaning, we must gather all this information. Like we were told, how do the cows go grazing? The cows know when they see a green pasture, when they see a piece of land with grass, they simply go there and start eating. They start taking as much as they can. Having taken all that, when they are full, they go under a tree and sit down. Then what do? They bring it out. They have stomachs also. No, it is not just one stomach. They bring it out, and you will see the cow ruminating, chewing that cud. Will just be sitting and doing that, taking it out, nicely ruminating over it, and then swallow. Which has become now the food is nicely digested, and what has happened? That food has become one with the cow. So what we need to do? Take in everything what is given. Then this is Shravana, listening with rapt attention, with interest. Why? It is because it has to do with you and I. It is about our lives. It is about who we are. It is not something beyond this world, somewhere far away, somewhere, we lost touch with the shastras because we didn't know the language. And we think, oh, it is all in Sanskritam. Now I can't understand anything. It is not relevant. What the Shastras speak about is about who you are, who I am. And it is absolutely relevant. So, what do we do first? Gather the information. Shravana, then reflect upon Manana. These are the two spaces where the Acharya is helpful to you. First of all, listening. This information must be given to us. Then only I know, oh, there is something like this that exists. Then I begin to reflect upon it. I contemplate on it. And where I have doubts, I must get that cleared. Samshaya nivritti has to happen at the Mananam stage. When I am very clear with what I have heard and I have reflected upon, and I have deeper conviction in what I have heard, only then is nididhyasanam possible. Then I sit and meditate upon. So this is the way our approach to be. And this book a very short text actually. And if you all can all get it, there are many commentaries available. Any commentary by any teacher from the Shankara Parampara, that book is good enough for us. So be it from the Kailash Ashram school, Chinmaya mission, Dayananda school, it could be, from the Ramakrishna mission also. They all follow the same parampara. It will be easy for our understanding. Once you get these books, it becomes easy for you. Otherwise, we shall keep sharing the verses. So here, Tattvabodha, the very title speaks. When we say Tattvam, what do we mean by Tattvam? Tattvam is the essence, or what is real, what is the gist. Gist about what? Our own being, the reality of who we are. The truth about who we are is being spoken about, is being, what is, when we say bodha, aha, there is an enlightenment, there is an understanding. That knowledge is given to us in this book. As he speaks of the terminologies itself, when we do mananam, we come to, aha, that moment comes, oh, is it like this? Ah. Our rishis have done a lot of research, Like Swami Chinmayananda would say, the politicians, the scientists, the economists, they do a lot of research and do a lot of, how we could build a better society for our happiness, for smooth functioning of communities. But that is all got to do with the physical body, and it has got to do with the external world. Our rishis have done a lot of work on the inner world. When we see, we have seen it for ourselves. You have all the money, you are fed well, roti, kapra, makan, we say 3 basics are taken care of very well. In spite of that, we may not be happy. We have this feeling of unfulfillment. Some lack is there. Now what more? What next? This lack is there constantly. We are going on seeking. And who is not seeking happiness? Tell me. Ask anybody. What is it that they want? No, they will tell, I only want my son to be married now. I want my son to get a job. Acha, then what will happen? He'll be happy. Let me get my house. Forget happiness. I want my house. What will happen after I get the house? I will be happy. And from when did this start? That we are looking for happiness? From the time I was born, I think. In retrospection, I can say that. If I am hungry, I want to be fed. Otherwise, I'm crying. I can't tolerate unhappiness even for a moment. Isn't it? So we all want happiness, and we all have always wanted happiness. Like, how come we are not happy? Till now, we are not happy. Big question not to be answered. I have all the riches, I have the money. If I have to travel anywhere, I will travel today. But I am not happy. I'm not happy here. That's why I look to travel. I have to go to Switzerland. I want a break. Then I'm in Switzerland. Enough of this hotel food. I'm waiting to go home and eat homemade food. So I'm waiting to go somewhere else now. And then be happy. Constantly, in the pursuit of happiness, we say no. Running, running, running. We are chasing this. From the time we are born. Only from the time we are born. Many janmas. But that we will understand later. We will see why like that. Acha, tell me one thing. Little bit of unhappiness, are you okay with it? Is anybody okay with it? No, if somebody says I'm okay with my unhappiness, you say something wrong with this person. Acha, if you're happy in life generally, is that a burden for you? Another way to look at it. Ayo, past 1 week, I don't know why I'm happy. I have to go and see the astrologer, Baba. If I go to this temple, the Ganapati, I have to break a nariyal coconut for you. 1 week I'm happy. Has anybody gone like this? I have to check the vastu of this place now. Why? I'm happy. For 1 week, no one. Is it a problem? No, not at all. I think it is my birthright to be happy. I take it so easily. But the moment I am slightly unhappy, I need this to happen to me. You think there is God? Why is God doing this to me? I have never done any wrong. You can't bear that unhappiness. So the rishis say, you know why? They have done enough research. That is your dharma. That is your true nature. Happiness is your true nature. You have heard of this? Satyam Ananda Swarupam. That is the Atma Swarupa and you are that. Am I that? I can't believe. Because the next question is my life experience. Don't show that. I am happy today. I don't know what will happen tomorrow. In fact, if I am happy, I don't want to show it also. Right? Neighbors will nazar lag jayegi. Neighbors will put an evil eye. So don't laugh too much, you will have to cry. All this we have heard. So we are scared to be happy. So my experience tells me that no. It is not like this. I can't believe that this is my nature. So now Tattvabodha deals with that. Tattvabodha says, goes into the inquiry of who you are and establishes how you are the ātman and what is the nature of ātman. Very relevant to who we are. And we must inquire. In fact, this is the only thing that we must do according to Ramana Bhagavan. He says, everything else is anyway prarabdha, it is going to happen in your life. What you must do is inquire into this. This is the biggest support. Investigate. Do not fail to investigate and reach your goal. Come to recognize that. Why? Once you have recognized that, then this sorrow cannot touch you. Dukkham cannot touch you. Why? You have recognized who you are. You will realize it is because of my wrong thinking that there is dukkham in my life. You will come to realize that the moment we realize the true nature of who we are. So, and isn't that wonderful? Isn't that what we should seek first of all? Because we don't want whatever I'm doing in my life, I'm doing for happiness. Then let me get that happiness completely fulfilled in that. Why should it be yada kada? How do I want to be happy? Every day, every time, everywhere. It is not that when I'm at home, I want to be happy, or when I'm in office, I will be happy. If God says I will ration it out, every weekend I'm going to give you happiness, other 5 days you have to bear dukkha. Are we happy? No. I want happiness anytime, everywhere, anywhere, every time, everywhere. Then Brahmagyan is the answer. And Vedanta Shastras give us this solution, this knowledge. So this Tattvabodha, as any Vedanta Shastra begins with, it begins with a Mangalachara. So here too, see, as we go with the text, we will speak of Shankara, we will speak of his disciples, a little bit more on the philosophy also, but little by little. Otherwise, because this book can get very technical, because you will say, what is this? Question and answer, and it is so technical. You will feel like you have gone back to school or college days, very academic in nature, this textbook. But it is mandatory for everyone who wants to understand the Advaitic philosophy. Therefore, we begin with it. Vasudevendra Yogendram. Repeat. Natva Jnanapradam Gurum. Mumukshunam hitarthaya Tattvabodho bhidhiyate. Together we will do it. Vasudevendra Yogindram Natva Jnanapradam Gurum Mumukshunam hitarthaya Tattvabodho
vidhiyate.
This is an invocation. What is Bhagavan saying here? He has taken the name of his God and Guru, who is having saluted, he says, Natva. We say Namaste, having saluted, having done Namaste is Natva. Natva to whom? Vasudeva and also Yogindra. The consciousness pulsating as whom? As the son of Vasudeva and Devaki. Who is that? Bhagavan Krishna. Having saluted, paid my salutations, namaskaras to Bhagavan Krishna. Also, Bhagavan Krishna is known as Govinda, and Bhagavan Shankara's Guru was Bhagavad Govinda Padacharya. So, with just saying Vasudevendra, who is a Yogendra, he is the Indra, king of yogis. Yoga, Bhagavan Krishna has said in the Gita, there are many meanings to it at different stages of our evolution. But the ultimate yoga is the connection. Any yoga is a union, yunjana, it is joining in. But the ultimate is when you have become one with the higher self, the ātman, highest that is. That union with the self is also yoga. Having prostrated to Guru and God this way, who is that Lord who has attained one union with the self. He is the Lord of all yogis, having done. And who is he? He is Jnana Prada Gurum. What does he do? He is a guru. And what does the guru do? He removes ignorance. He gives us that knowledge. And what knowledge are we talking about here? Brahmagyan, Atmagyan. We are not talking about secular subjects because this is important to us. Somebody says, if I study Tattvabodha, will I begin to do better in my business? See, as a side effect, it might happen, but that is not the purpose. So what is the jnana that is going to be given to you? The knowledge of the self, knowledge of who you are. There is ignorance of the self. Therefore, we need a guru who will tell us this. So, guru is one. The word guru is traditionally used to address one who gives us Brahmagyan, Atmagyan. But today it has been used everywhere. No, that is a different thing. We say, he is my guru at the gym, corporate guru, some other management guru we have. One who does sessions on stress management is also considered guru. Those are all also respected as teachers because they do impart knowledge, but it is not Atmagyan, isn't it? So when you say, this is my guru, you take him as one who is a Brahmagyani and going to remove the ignorance of who you are. So Lord Krishna is worshipped this way, as also Govindpadacharya. And all knowledge arises from the Lord only. So he is this one who bestows this knowledge, Jnana Pradam Guru. And what does he say? Mumukshunam hitarthaya, which means that this Tattvabodha, because he says Tattvabodha abhidhiyate, Tattvabodha. I'm speaking of the essence. I am going to expound this for whom? Mumukshunam hitarthaya, for the benefit, for the advantage of a mumuksha, established right as an invocation itself. So we know who has to read this text. Are we interested in Atma Vichar? Are we seeking to know? Are we mumukshus? Mumukshu is one who is seeking this knowledge to be liberated from what? From his ignorance. Ignorance of his own self. In fact, when we go to a spiritual guru only, we come to know that this is not our true self that we have assumed to be ourselves. Shall we discuss this a little? Because people may wonder, I know who I am. Why have we to write books on discovering who I am? Is that the truth of who you are? What you know about yourself? We must inquire. So to know, is this the truth? How should truth be, first of all? Truth has to be permanent, isn't it? It should be changeless. It cannot be that 10 years ago it was like this, now it is different. 10 years later it will change. Then that is not the truth. That is just a fact. It is not the truth. And how do we want a truth to be? Changeless, and it has to be the same all the time. Whether you're in India or in Australia or you have gone to space and lost in some spaceship. Truth has to be the truth. It cannot change. So, like we say, suppose I say I want sugar and I taste sugar. How is sugar? It is sweet, isn't it? Now, whether I eat it in the Himalayas, whether I eat it underwater, whether I eat it in space, in India, in Australia, sugar has to be sweet. Sweetness is its dharma, isn't it? If that thing is not sweet, we will not call it sugar. That means sweetness and sugar cannot be taken away from each other. So, like that, what is true about you? That cannot be taken away. Then that is truth about you. Have you thought about this? So we go to, for admissions in college, and we go for a job interview. We carry our resume with us, biodata saying name, so and so, age, so and so, address, qualification, job experience, hobbies, so many things we give. A detailed version of what we are. Now tell me one thing, can all these be changed? Oh, I have never given a thought to it, but yes, age changes every year. My looks change every time. It has been changing from the time I was born. My name I can change. My gender I can change. Address I can change. Qualifications change. So the spiritual teacher looks at this biodata and says everything is changing about you. Then what is true about you? This biodata is okay in the secular world. Your Vyavahara, it is okay. I write this biodata and all the above mentioned facts are true to the best of my knowledge, or whatever you write and you sign, no? And they also, oh, you have signed it? Very good, I accept it. Accept this about you. And you get a job. In Vyavahara, it is okay. But it is only the spiritual teacher will say, tell that biodata, that is not who you are. If everything about you can be changed, then that is not Dharma. Then who you are? Tell me. You are only changing. Is there anything permanent? I didn't think about this. That is why we need this Brahmagyani to tell us. And that is why these books have been written. Saying, please go, vichar, do this vichar. When you do this vichar, this line of thinking, it will take you away from all dukkham. Because not knowing who you are in truth, you have assumed an identity. And with this identity begins your suffering. This is what the scriptures say. Therefore, you need to know. And therefore, here Bhagavan says, for one who is a mumukshu, this way seeking to know the truth about who he is, so that he can put an end to suffering. So he wants to be liberated from this assumed identity. He wants to be liberated from all the misery and suffering once for all. Not today and tomorrow. Oh, I'm upset today, so I go watch a movie. I'm upset. I go to some music concert. I'm relaxed. Again, tomorrow something happens and again I'm upset. No, I want to be liberated from this. And there is an end. You can put an end to it. This is what the scriptures are declaring. Tattvam asi. That thou art. And what is that? That tattvam is what Bhagavan says, Tattvabodha abhidiyate. Tattvabodha, I am now going to expound to you. For whom, who is the adhikari? When we say adhikari, who is the one who is qualified to listen to this or get to understand this? Is one who is seeking this knowledge. You know, when we were in school and college, we had texts and we had exams to give. So we would look for guides, especially. We wanted important questions that will be asked so that we revise that, study that. And so you would get guide, geography guide for standard 5. This is physics guide for standard 10. Meaning what? One who is in 5th standard won't buy that book, 10th standard guide. One who is in the 12th has no requirement for this book, right? So clearly written, what is the subject matter and who should read it? Subject matter is about the tattvam of who you are, and who should be following these lectures and studying? The one who wants to be liberated, thus knowing this mumukshunam hitarthaya. He's making it very clear. No? People say, na, okay, Brahmagyan, after Brahmagyan, what will happen? Will I be qualified for something? Because we are all, today's world is made us this way. Utility, we seek utility in everything. We have become great consumers. So if I read this, if I study this, what will happen? Yes, we should know what will happen, right? So, there is a greater purpose. This is my true self. I want to know that. And if this is what we are seeking, then definitely this book is for us. And where will we begin? We will begin from where we are. Okay? We are not going to rush. The book says Tattvam Asi, which means that thou art. Now, what is that? Yes, we will come to that. That is that Brahman or Atman. But right now, I have no experience of it. Isn't it? If I want to travel, I am sitting in Bombay, Mumbai, and I want to go to Delhi. I can only buy a ticket. I can decide how I want to go. By road, by bullock cart, by train, by flight. I accordingly have to go and buy a ticket. I have to know where I am, and then only from there only can I start my journey, and I will reach Delhi. So, Bhagavan is in his compassion, great kindness. The teachers have been like this, especially the rishis, Brahmagyanis. When they have people who want to know this truth, they are more than happy. They want to share, they want everyone to come to recognize this. So they will don't mind repeating again and again. About Laukika Vishayam, you can't ask the Brahmagyani. If he tells, he will tell once or twice. After that, he will not even share. But about this Atmagyan, they don't mind repeating. And with all kindness, they know. Where do we start with? I know myself as this body. I know I have emotions. I have certain ideas, certain ideals which I stick. I have certain principles, certain rationale I follow in life. I have an idea of what is right and wrong. So I am made up of all this. Atman, I don't know as of now. So Bhagavan begins from there. That is the beauty. Because we need to start. That is where. And then he says, the text begins this way. Sādhana chatuṣṭaya sampannādhikārinā mokṣa sādhana bhūtam tattva viveka prakaram vakshyāmaha. We shall expound, we shall tell what tattva viveka prakaram. That is this tattvam. How do we go about discerning the truth? We have to have enough vivekam. Vivekam is what? The skill to discern, discriminate. Huh? Now see, if you are given red beads and black beads in one bowl. And you are said, please discriminate the two. Put the red here and put the black one there. It's quite easy to do, right? Children are also taught. In fact, when they are very young, they are taught. They need to understand color and everything. So red and black, very simple. Now you have to cross the road. You have to judge. There is a vehicle coming. It is highway. Should I cross or not? You have to make a judgment, right? How fast is, what is the speed of that vehicle and can I cross? It requires a little more skill than a little more judgment than just separating red and black beads. And then subtler than that, we call it dharma sankat. You love your brother, you're deeply attached to him, and you have blood relation with him. He is part of family. And he has been caught doing something illegal. So now, do you go to the police or don't go to the police? Oh, it is not as easy as separating red beads and black beads. No? For many of us, oh, if I tell what will happen to him and his family, am I acting responsibly by doing this? I know what he's doing is wrong. But what is my action now? What should I do? If I go and complain, being honest, I am bringing ill repute to the family and to his children. But if I keep quiet, my conscience is going to prick me. He is going to continue doing this. Then it will be as though I encouraged him to do this. What do I do? It has become very subtle, you see. It is almost merging. Now there is confusion. This is exactly what happened to Arjuna. He was ready to fight. And Bhagwan also wanted him to see that. So when he said, Bhagwan, take me, I want to see how my enemies, who are the enemies who are waiting to be killed, who are waiting to get, fight with me and get killed. Take me, I want to see the strategy, how they are positioned themselves. Before the army goes to war, they need to know all this. And we are talking of war in the Dwapar Yuga, where dharma was followed. You can't simply do anything in the night. From sunrise to sunset, you can fight. After sunset, they will blow the conch, everybody will stop fighting. And if you are on the horseback, you can fight a soldier on the horseback only. You can't be unfair and fight somebody on foot. So soldier on the foot will fight with the soldier on the foot. This is dharma accepted by both the armies. So, Bhagwan was his charioteer. Take me, I want to see. Bhagwan takes him. And where does he take him? In the middle, where Dronacharya and Bhishma, Pitamaha are also there. He didn't take him in front of Duryodhana. Because if Duryodhana he sees, he will be angry and ready. This was a nice opportunity for Bhagwan to give him this truth. So he goes, and when Arjuna says, Bhishma Pitamaha, my grandfather, my beloved grandfather is standing. My own teacher who has taught me archery. Am I going to use my skill against him? This will be Guru Dhruv. I can't fight. See, what has happened? Dharma Sankat. I can't think clearly now. Is it okay when I have to just remove the rice from the husk? So this Vivekam we are all born with. Even children are born with. You give the child something to eat, it doesn't like, it's going to make a face and refuse to eat. It has that much sense of Vivekam. But do we have Vivekam? Tattva Prakara Vivekam? Discriminating what is ātman and anātman vastu, what is permanent and what is impermanent vastu. That we must have. That is Bhagavan saying, I will expound. And to whom? To those sadhana chatuṣṭaya sampannādhikārinām. Who is the adhikari? The adhikari who is endowed with the fourfold qualification. Ah, I didn't know. Acharya, you didn't tell me I had to be qualified to come. Because before entering any lecture, they ask what is the qualification. Vedanta school, they say, because this lecture is English, they will say, do you understand English? Then just come. That's all you have to do. Huh? 10th standard pass, graduate, nothing. Interest in the subject matter, wanting to seek to know this truth, in the language it is going to be spoken. This is all is the qualification. Because Vedanta has its own natural filters. In our ashram also, when we joined, we were around 72 brahmacharis. After the course, 32 remained. Others had left at different points of time. From the 32, 7 only got Diksha. So you see, it is not easy. Vedanta has its own filtration. Slowly, the ones who can't make it, will just drop off. But I don't think that's going to happen to this class. I would like you to continue, because what is there to discover is only going to help you. In this journey of self-discovery, this is very beautiful. Now you will wonder, sadhana chatushtaya sampanna, who is the adhikari? What is the fourfold qualification? What is this, which can become the very means of liberation, moksha sadhana bhutam. So this text can become the very means to liberation from our sense of limitation. Okay, so this is what Bhagwan Shankara plans to do in the Tattvabodha. Let us be with him. Like I told, it might get a little technical sometime. Don't get disheartened, because if Bhagwan has started saying sadhana chatushtayam, he has started saying adhikari, he is going to give us the meaning of everything. Because the disciple is going to ask, what is this sadhana chatushtaya? Okay, so I will explain that to you. So the moment he has made a statement, he is going to give you the meaning of it. I told you this is a book of terminologies, right? We should understand it. And wherever sadhana chatushtayam is meant, it is meant with this definition only. So this is beautiful for us. And it is the, like I said, mandatory beginning for any further text of Advaita Vedanta. So for today we shall conclude here, and next Thursday we will take it up, do a recap and continue from there. Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.